Hello, it's Brooks, Sovereign Energy Alchemist, and welcome to the weekly Oracle card reading for the energies of the week 25th to 31st of January 2021. So this is the final week of January before we move into February, and let's see what the cards have for us to share. So I'm using the Work Your Light Oracle card deck by Rebecca Campbell. This is my favorite deck to use for these readings. For those who are newer to this, I pull 3 cards where I ask for 3 areas for the week, which I cover as mind, body, and soul as a cohesive kind of format. Mind is all around the conscious energies throughout the week. So the things that you're going to be aware of, the things that you're going to be thinking about that are going to be in your conscious awareness, in your mind. The body is more about the physical, what is happening around you in your physical space, in situations, maybe relating to others, more of a physical in the actual, in the physical space. And then the final card, soul, is more around the unconscious energies. So the things that you may not really consciously be aware of, or that you wouldn't have realized are kind of going on, but when you are aware of them and that this is the energies that are floating around, you're going to be able to notice them much easier, and you're going to be able to lean into them a lot more. So this is kind of subconscious underlying energies that are floating through the week. So I will go into all of these in detail. I have already spent some time in meditation and tuning in and drawing the cards, so I have the 3 cards ready to go. I am going to go through each one by one. I'm going to read from the book as well, from the Work Your Light Oracle guidebook, because I do believe that it really explains it beautifully. So I'm going to read that, and then I'm going to kind of elaborate, I guess, on my message, the main messages that I'm hearing from the card, and also how all 3 fit together. So without further ado, let's get into it. First card for mind for the week 25th to 31st of January 2021, we have Imrama. Okay, so Imrama says, what are you being called to journey to? And let me read for you what it says in the book as well. So the Celtic word Imrama means a journey of the soul, a voyage on which we don't know where we are going, but our soul knows the way. If you pulled this card, you're either being called on a soul journey or are already on one. It could be to a physical ancient place or metaphoric. When we journey to places that our soul remembers, a shift takes place, both within us and to the planet as well. You're being called to journey to a place that is sacred to your soul. Perhaps it's a journey to the world's sacred sites, or called to cross the country, climb a mountain, lie on the desert floor, or drink from an ancient well. There are places to see and old friends to meet. I see spontaneous pilgrimages in your future. If a physical voyage isn't possible, journey through the portal of your heart. Follow the invisible soul trail and be willing to explore. Maybe read a book or watch a movie about a sacred time or place. Or perhaps you're being called to study an ancient lineage or body of work. Whatever your circumstances, your soul is ready to journey deep. So the energy that I'm feeling for this week, and this coming up as the mind, the conscious energy card, is that you're going to be very aware that you are being pulled in a certain direction. Things are going to happen, things are going to be in your awareness, that you're seeing kind of the journey unfolding. There might be something that comes to light, some information, some experiences that come to light, that come into your consciousness, that make you aware that you are going on a particular journey, you're moving in a certain direction, and that this is something that you're really pulled to. This isn't something that's just happening randomly, that you don't understand where it's come from or anything like that. This is something that you can feel internally is really aligned for you. There's a moving forward towards something that is really aligned and really powerfully part of your journey, and you're going to be aware of that energy throughout the week. The body card that came up, so this is for the physical, is Starseed. See the picture there. And so Starseed asks, what lights you up? I'll read from the book first. Starseeds are souls with a double mission: to raise their own consciousness and the consciousness of the planet. They're old souls who have incarnated elsewhere beyond this planet. Many starseeds arrive with a feeling that time is running out and that there is something that they came here to do or create or contribute. If you pulled this card, it's to confirm that you are a star seed and you're being encouraged to answer the call, to follow what lights you up. Once awake, most starseed souls find it hard to have meaningless conversations, jobs, and relationships. They innately know that there is much more to life and feel that there is something more and get to work. They remain restless until they step into their calling, which is to light up the world with their unique presence. Starseeds are scattered all over the planet, in hospitals and schools, in slums and mansions, on stages and in edit suites, in parks and nightclubs, in taxis and theme parks. Many starseeds spend parts of their lives trying to fit in some form of spiritual closet. If you're dimming your light to fit in, it is time that you stop and start embracing the unique light that you came here to share and treat your time on earth like a glorious vacation. So the question here is, what lights you up? And this is going to be interesting when I tell you about the third card as well, because these two really intertwine. So this is the body, this is the physical. So you're going to find that this week you're feeling very pulled, obviously, from the first card, right? From Imrama, very pulled towards this new journey, towards where you're really, really wanting to go. But not only that, but you're going to be asked to physically take those steps. There's going to be something that comes up that actually opens up an opportunity for you to move forward, to maybe speak to someone, maybe reach out to someone, maybe an offer comes through to you, or an idea that you can act upon, something that you can physically actually move ahead with. And it's interesting as well that it talks about not dimming your light, right? You'll see why this is really interesting with the third card, because it's almost like the unconscious energies are coming through and already pulling you physically to actually take action, to move on this. So there's going to be a powerful energy swirling this week that is going to propel you into action, into actually following that guidance, following that those intuitive hits. Because the third card, and this is, like I said, the soul, the subconscious, the underlying energies that you may not necessarily have been aware of, happens to be, don't dim to fit in, right? So it's really interesting that the card before that, the starseed card, actually mentioned that physically, that if there's been somewhere that you've been kind of dulling your light and trying not to shine too brightly, it is saying that the underlying energies that are going to be floating around this week, that you're going to feel, but maybe you wouldn't have put your finger on it otherwise, is this feeling of how are you dimming your light to fit in, right? Let me read from the book first. Don't dim your light to accommodate someone else's smallness. We are all born to shine big and bright. The universe is expanding and you're part of the universe, so expanding is part of your nature. If someone makes you want to retract, notice and slowly back away. They are not for you and you are not for them. You better yet, find it within yourself to expand and shine your light anyway. Flowers don't open and close according to who is walking by. They open and show their beauty regardless. If others don't want to be around you or you make them uncomfortable, it's because you are shining light on the fact that they are dimming to fit in. By choosing to shine bright, you may just inspire them to turn on their light too. Or not. Keep your light on anyway. All relationships are essentially an energetic agreement. The moment one person decides to start rising up and allowing their light to shine, it changes the energetic agreement and can create some waves. That's completely normal. The relationships that are meant to last will adapt to the change in energy. Others won't, because they were likely born under the proviso of, I love you as long as you don't shine brighter than me. That's okay. Not all people are meant to be in your life forever, but the lessons they teach us can still live on. So there's an inquiry question to that, which is, how are you dimming your light in order to fit in? So this being the final card, the soul card, the subconscious energy card, you're going to find that over the next few weeks, as it expands, as it becomes more in your awareness, because right now this week it's going to be a little bit underlying, a bit kind of unconscious. There's likely to be, give me one sec. There's likely to be some kind of nudges that you're going to start seeing of certain people that you don't align with, that are not meant to be part of your life, that are not meant to, that are just, that exactly like the book said, that they've only been in your life because when you've been prepared to be less, and that made them feel okay. But now that you are rising up, that you are actually going for more, that you are actually taking the step and being brave, that's going to really trigger them. and they're likely either going to, leave themselves from your life, or you're going to have to make some decisions to actually elevate your own standing and elevate your own presence and decide to let them go, to release them in whatever way feels right for you, right? So to kind of sum up the 3 energies for this week, this feels like a very internal week. A lot of shifts, a lot of changes, a lot of progression, right? If you've been feeling kind of stale, this is what they're telling me, is if you've been feeling kind of stale or kind of stagnant, like you're trying to move forward, but it's just not happening yet, this is the week where things are going to start to become clearer on the internal level, right? There's going to be some shifts, there's going to be some steps, right? With the Starseed card, there's going to be some things that you can actually take steps and take action on moving forward. But more than anything, you're going to really start to see this within your own mind's eye, where things are going and how things are expanding. If you haven't been able to see a clear path forward, this is really going to start pulling you there, right? With the Imrama card, first and foremost, you're going to really be able to tune in and feel where it is that you're being called to journey to, where it is that you're being pulled to, where it is that the next phase of your life is taking you and is wanting you to go. With the Starseed card, it's asking you to ask, okay, well, what lights me up about this? Where am I ready to take action? Where am I ready to, book that flight, make that trip, move that house, release that relationship or friendship, whatever it is? Where am I feeling pulled to, that I can actually start taking those actions, because there's absolutely action to take this week as well. And finally, the underlying energy, the subconscious energy, we've got don't dim to fit in, right? So you're going to really start to feel this building over the next few weeks, and it might not be necessarily obvious this week, but it's definitely building. And if you pay attention, you're going to see where it is that there's certain things that you're going to have to move away from. There's certain things you're going to have to let go of, or people or situations or patterns or limiting beliefs or whatever it happens to be for you. There's going to be certain things that you need to be starting to let go of, because you've been dimming your light. You've been trying not to shine too bright because you're worried about how this person or this situation or this outcome will be if you do that. And you're going to start to feel that more and more and more, that you're being pulled to actually let your light shine and to stop dimming, and to trust that whatever is aligned is going to enter your life and is going to stay. And whatever is not aligned, whatever was not actually ever meant to be a match for your highest self, for you in your fullest expression and being in your pure joy, whatever is not supportive of that is going to need to fall away, and to allow that to happen. So that's the underlying energies that are building. So it's going to be a very internal week, but at the same time, you are going to also realize when things come up, when ideas come to you, when opportunities come to you, that you feel like, oh, I need to do this. This is an action I get to take. Do it, right? You're being absolutely guided this week. So I hope it's a beautiful, beautiful week for you. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Have an amazing week. Really listen, take the steps when you feel pulled to it, and don't be afraid to let go of what is not aligned, because you are absolutely getting ready to shine. Mwah. Sending you so much love, and remember, live life on purpose.